Google, good evening. This is a small tutorial about the INA3221, which is a fairly new chip, I assume, because there's not much information about it available on the internet. And just a few vendors sell this chip as a finished module. You can see the 3221 on the right, and on the left is this little baby, which I guess a lot of you people know. It's the INA3221 high side bidirectional current and voltage sensor. This one is from Adafruit, but you can get it in many different versions. This is the INA3221, which is sort of the big brother to INA219. Okay, so I'm going to take you through some of the differences between this INA219 and the INA3221, because this module is created a bit different from the original, or the first module I saw at least, using the INA3221, which was from Switch Dock, which is quite similar to this one, but it has 3 channels. So on the 219 and the Switch Dock 3221 you have V in and V out on each channel, so you'll break the high side from the power supply to the load to measure voltage and current. And it's the same on the Switch Dock module, but on this module, which you can buy on eBay, it's connected a bit differently. So you'll have to connect your power supply to power pin and ground from the power supply to the ground pin, and then you have 3 channels which all connect to the same power bus, so you will not be able to run 3 different loads on 3 different power supplies. You can have 3 different loads, but you'll have the same power supply for all of them. So you'll connect your loads 1, 2 and 3, and the ground for your loads on these 6 pins. So there is no opportunity here to actually measure 3 loads on 3 different power supplies, which I found a little bit disappointing, but at least you can measure 3 loads using the same power supply. So let's go ahead and hook this up to our Arduino. So I've connected the INA3221 module to this Arduino Uno, and I've also soldered on some connections here to be able to connect a power supply. Would be more elegant, of course, to have some screw block connections here, but I didn't have that available at the moment. So let's go ahead and hook this up, and we'll have a look at the code for the Arduino Uno. So on GitHub you'll find all the necessary files from Switch Dock Labs. There are libraries for the INA3221, and there's an example which will make it quite easy to get your module up and running in no time. So we'll download this zip file and find the test example. So there's the example code from Switch Dock Labs, and as you can see you need the INA3221 library, which you can download and install, and then you can just upload it to your Arduino, and we'll try to test this module. Okay, so I've connected the INA3221 to a 12 volt power supply and to a test load, which in this case is a 10 watt LED. And I also have this power meter, so we can have a reading on the voltage and current for this LED. And the driver for the LED is limited at 400 milliamperes and around 9 volts. So this is the power meter reading, 300 milliamps about, and 11.8 volts. So let's go over to the serial monitor and see what the INA3221 reads. So as you can see, you have 3 channels, and they are named for in the code from Switch Labs as LiPo battery, solar cell, and the output bus. And the LED is connected to the first channel, which is the LiPo battery channel, and as you can see, we have 11.86 volts and 333 milliamps or so about. The minus or negative value of the milliamps is just from the coding, as Switch Labs chose to have a negative value for current going into the battery and a positive value for current coming from the battery. So let's see what happens if we connect another load to the INA3221. So I've connected another load to the third channel of the INA3221. This is a USB load, which is over here, and it's operated from this computer software, and at the moment it's drawing 500 milliamps and it's got a reading of 11.6 volts. And the power meter for the LED is at the moment 11.7 volts and 310 milliamps. And the INA3221 reads 11.7 volts on the first channel, which is the LED, and 350 milliamps, and 11.7 volts and 507 milliamps on the third channel. So it's pretty much the same as I get from the software and the power meter. So what's the verdict for this little module? Well, it's quite a nice module, I think. It will give you readings on 3 different loads, but they are all connected to the same power supply, which is a bit of a shame. If you want to have 3 different loads from 3 different power supplies, you can buy the Switch Labs INA3221, which will give you that. But if you just need to read the voltages and currents to 3 different loads using the same power supply, this module is a pretty good alternative. So that's it for the INA3221. Please comment and ask questions below, and I'll add all the links to libraries and examples and where you can buy this module. Well, thank you and good night.